The Wednesday death of two U.S. service members in Afghanistan raised this year's number of Americans killed in combat there to the highest annual total since 2014. A U.S. official told the Associated Press that the two service members died in combat from small arms fire, bringing the total number of 2019 U.S. combat related fatalities in Afghanistan to 14. Two additional American deaths in the country were not combat related. The highest annual Afghanistan death toll for U.S. military personnel in the past 5 years had previously been 13 in 2018, with another 11 in 2017, 9 in 2016, and 10 in 2015. Prior to that, about 40 service members were killed in 2014. The Obama administration in December 2014 formally ended the combat mission in Afghanistan known as Operation Enduring Freedom. The operation, meant to defeat the Taliban, which harbored al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden, included more than 2,350 U.S. military personnel deaths, with nearly 1,900 of those combat related, according to the Pentagon's casualty statistics. The deadliest year for American service members in Afghanistan since the war began was 2010, with nearly 500 military personnel deaths, 440 of which were combat related. Roughly 14,000 U.S. military personnel are still in the country, with about 8,500 of them part of the NATO-led Operation Freedom Sentinel, providing air support as well as equipping and training Afghan forces fighting the Taliban. Guys, let me explain something to you. I make it very clear I'm not a Trump fan. I don't think that he is an effective anything. But I always say I don't like either party, and this is the reason why. Now, you hear about this Operation Enduring Freedom, where they tried to go after Taliban, harbored bin Laden. At this point, bin Laden's been dead for 3 years, in 2014. And you got to ask yourself, if you've committed your main operation, if you've got the person who was considered the mastermind of the worst terrorist attack in U.S. history, why the hell do you care about a bunch of random scrubs? And at what cost are you willing to pursue this if you have to bury hundreds, to actually at this point thousands of your own members? But this is why I'm not a fan of Trump's immediate predecessor, and I'm not a fan of his, because you vote, when people vote for the opposite party, they want change. They want some substantial difference in the direction things are going. And we've now been, you can keep trying to play this game of, I'm trying to get us out of here, blah, 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 blah. But we're talking about being in this conflict for now over 2 years under Trump's reign, and we get the exact same result. More U.S. citizens getting blown to pieces over a war that should have been over a decade ago. Like, I'm not even trying to make him look bad. I'm just tired of people pretending like there's some kind of, I wish we could get back to a point where people just stopped blindly worshiping whether it's a president or a political party and just said, this is a dumb policy. Like, having a war that has been going on for so long that people who weren't even born when it started can now sign up to join is ridiculous. Ask yourself, if we had, everybody knows about World War II, it was 3 years. If we've had loads, literally over a dozen wars since the U.S. began, and you end up living to see the longest one ever, you don't think there's something fundamentally wrong about that? You've gone through 3 presidents with this. All of them have had multiple years to deal with it, and it just stays the same. They take some troops out, they put some troops in. We get a couple of dead bodies, and no one ever wants to declare victory. I actually told the person I wouldn't be surprised if we stayed over there for another 10 years. And you might say to yourself, that's ridiculous. What else? But think about it. How do you think they were able to keep us over there for as long as we have been? How do you think, when you've got people like Lindsey Graham, who still this late in the game doesn't believe there's a problem with being over there, that we're there's some kind of united front? And even if there was, because remember, this war was actually polled a couple of years ago as having a 13% approval rating. How the hell can something that's that unpopular be able to just continue? Like, because the politicians that people vote for know that while people get upset over this stuff or they say they don't like this stuff, they're not going to take the precautions to ensure it ends, i.e., voting for politicians that express support for getting out. And then when they don't introduce or do anything to get out, voting them out. I just want people to rally around ending this forever war, but I don't think it'll be in my lifetime.